The Ukraine war is no longer contained to the front lines. Ukrainian drones are reaching deep into Russia. Western missiles are striking farther from the battlefield, and Russian attacks are coming back with growing force. Now, Moscow is warning Britain that the next step could bring British military targets into the equation.
The distance between the Ukraine battlefield and the wider NATO confrontation is shrinking. Ukraine has spent months taking the war deep inside Russia, using waves of drones against military, energy, and industrial targets. Moscow has responded with its own massive missile drone barrages across Ukraine. Ukrainian drones have also struck the Moscow region. Other Ukrainian attacks have targeted Russian energy infrastructure and industrial sites. But drones are only part of Kyiv's long-range arsenal. Now the storm shadow has become the center of a much bigger confrontation. The British-French cruise missile can travel hundreds of kilometers and strike targets deep behind the front line. Its targets include bunkers, bridges, and supply depots, making it a game-changer in long-range warfare. And Britain has just taken a major new step. The new British PM Andy Burnham agreed to give Ukraine access to classified technology to help it produce its own long-range missile.
In order to speed up Putin's realization that he cannot win this war, Russia needs to feel the pressure. They are already struggling to fund their war chest. Despite spiking oil prices, Russia's overall energy revenues are down and they have a record deficit. But we need to do more to squeeze their oil and LNG exports.
For Moscow, this changes the equation. The Kremlin says Western countries are not simply supplying weapons anymore. They are helping build Ukraine's long-range strike capability inside Ukraine itself. Russia calls the British move fuel to the fire. Then came the warning. Moscow says Britain could face strikes on military installations.
We have repeatedly warned that the response to Ukrainian strikes using British weapons on Russian territory could target any British military facilities and equipment, whether in Ukraine or beyond. Those responsible for war crimes, including those committed against our country's civilian population, will be punished in accordance with their actions. Inescapable retribution awaits their accomplices and instigators, and we urge all residents of the United Kingdom to reflect on the inevitable, catastrophic consequences of their authorities' hostile actions.
Romania and Poland have reported Russian-origin drones entering its airspace. NATO has condemned the airspace violations. Moscow, however, has denied targeting NATO nations. Russia says it is fighting Ukraine. Britain says it is helping Ukraine defend itself. NATO says its members must be protected. And Ukraine is increasingly capable of taking the fight deep into Russian territory. The result is a dangerous chain reaction. A Ukrainian drone crosses into Russia. A Western missile hits deeper. Russia retaliates against Ukraine. A drone or fragment crosses into NATO airspace. And suddenly, a war that began in Ukraine creates pressure far beyond Ukraine.